Hello again. I'm Dr. Mike Falk, a local physician working with the Chautauqua County Department of Health and Human Services, Office of Emergency Services, and the Sheriff's Office. This is a follow-up to a previous informational video surrounding the initial rollout of COVID-19 vaccines. As expected, there are a number of questions from individuals who have now been fully vaccinated, most of these revolving around individual responsibilities following the vaccination process. And I'd like to provide some clarification and reinforce some important concepts. As we all know and are rightfully frustrated by, only a small percentage of the US and our county have been vaccinated. Fortunately, many of our vulnerable nursing home residents, those high-risk individuals living in congregate settings, and local healthcare workers and first responders have either had the initial vaccine or have received both rounds of the Moderna or Pfizer vaccines. In addition, some of our residents 65 and older have started to receive vaccinations. Frustratingly, there is much higher demand for the vaccine than there is supply. Our hopes are that the supply increases steadily so that our county health department, hospitals, and pharmacies can continue providing efficient vaccinations. A recurrent question from our healthcare workers and first responders is the following. Do we need to continue wearing PPE or personal protective equipment now that we are vaccinated? And the answer is yes. And this is an important point for some of our follow-up questions. Remember, the Moderna and Pfizer mRNA vaccines are 94 and 95% effective, respectively. This means that these vaccines are 94 to 95% effective at preventing COVID illness, not necessarily preventing infection by the coronavirus. With the vaccine, it is still possible to be infected by the virus, but not become ill with COVID. The prevention of infection is something that is not entirely well understood at this point. It is believed that vaccinated individuals may become infected with the virus, but show no symptoms or very mild symptoms and still be able to transmit virus to susceptible and possibly vulnerable community members. Additionally, there is a small chance that vaccinated individuals may develop COVID illness. And given that some of our healthcare workers and first responders care for many patients with COVID, the risk is just too high to discontinue appropriate PPE at this time. The next question is a great one. If I've been vaccinated, will I still be quarantined if I'm identified as a close contact to someone who is determined to be COVID positive? And the answer again is yes. And for the same reasons as I previously stated, you may not become ill with COVID, but you may still be infected and be able to unknowingly pass virus to your family, friends, community, and coworkers. There is great concern for individuals with asymptomatic infections to become super spreaders of the virus. Additionally, as I said earlier, only a small fraction of people in our communities have received the vaccine, which means there are many vulnerable individuals that we need to continue to protect. Additionally, we have all read about the emerging coronavirus strains that may make it easier for the virus to be transmitted from one to another. We're all watching this very carefully, but there are many unknowns at this time. For these stated reasons, it is also recommended to continue established guidelines regarding wearing masks, social distancing, and good hand hygiene. Yes, we've said before that we can see the light at the end of this long, dark tunnel. But for now, that light is still a little bit dim, and it continues to get brighter every day. I feel there's a lot to be enthusiastic about in 2021, but we know it is going to be a slow process, and we should expect to take baby steps this year. For those interested in receiving the vaccine, pay close attention to the Chautauqua County website at chqgov.com, as information regarding upcoming clinics is updated frequently. There, you will also find links to the New York State Am I Eligible website for further information regarding upcoming New York State sponsored vaccination clinics, and also links to our local Chautauqua County pharmacies who are either participating or will be participating in the vaccination process. I am pleased to report that for now, our local COVID-19 infections are decreasing, but we continue to see infections and hospitalizations across our region and we can't let our guard down yet. Continued adherence to the recommended guidelines will ensure safety for our community as we continue to proceed through the winter and into the spring with vaccination efforts. Thank you, and I'll see you again soon.